show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I deliver it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. Heaven help us today. Dr. Bill Janeshak's in the house.
Hey, Ron. It's great to be here.
You liar. You've never said that about coming in and visiting me once in the ever, Doc.
I'm going to shake it up a little today, and I'm going to be nice.
Oh,
even to you.
Even to me.
Even to you.
Joe, you heard that. You're a witness, and this is being recorded for those of you that don't know it. So I've got it on camera right here. Dr. Bill's going to be nice to me just for one day.
We'll fix that in editing.
There you go. Did you pay somebody already? Holy cow. Let me remind you, just remember, that's the number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Today, our celebration, I don't know about this one. I guess this would be great if it happened. National Tackle Kids Cancer Day. National Online Learning Day. Actually, those are all tomorrow, so I guess I better look at today's. Now I know what my problem was. I have this sugar coma because today is National Cream-Filled Donut Day.
Ooh.
Where are you getting your cream-filled donuts? Where's a good spot for those? And once you come out of that sugar coma, you can go right back and enjoy the National Hoagie Day. Eat a hoagie day. Borden Brew, Anaheim Hills. I will be there. Come and join me. Have a hoagie. It's on you. Moving right along, Dow Jones Industrial Average up 15 points. Oil up 84 cents, topping $50 a barrel. That's a big ruse. Oil companies out there sticking it to the people right now. We'll talk about that in a minute, but have you figured out why would oil be going up so high? I understand why gasoline's going up high. In Taxifornia, we just like to charge extra for everything. But oil, I mean, I know there's a hurricane, or there was a hurricane in Texas. There was a hurricane in Florida. They refine the oil in Texas. Or in South Texas. They refine oil, but they're not drilling it there. So we should be getting a glut of oil, a lot of extra supply of oil. Yet the demand is not going to be there right now. So it's kind of interesting watching what the markets are doing. I predict there will be a big drop in oil prices. U.S. 10-year Treasury at 2.19 right now. That is a precursor to the mortgage market. And we did get the numbers out this morning. Freddie Mac, 3.78%. 3.78 on the 30-year fixed rate loan from Freddie Mac. You have to pay a half to get it, but 3.78, that's a good number. Last year at this time, we were at 3.50. So we've gone up a little bit, but we're catching a little closer. Jobless claims fell 284,000, below the consensus of 300,000. We'll be getting more jobless claims coming shortly, just because we know that that's an issue in South Texas and in Florida. People are going to have to file for unemployment, being that their houses are gone. Everything's gone over there. It's just amazing. Moving right along to continue our conversation this morning. You gotta love the loony libs. And I know some of you are on there watching us this morning, but they did this telethon. They wanted to raise money. I wonder who's going to monitor where the money is going. But they're raising money for the victims of the 2 hurricanes. Everybody wants to match everybody, but nobody wants to put their hand in their pocket first. It's kind of what's going on right now. Now, they claim they've raised $44 million. Not a problem with that. That is wonderful. But it's amazing watching what's going on. Oprah Winfrey, George Clooney, Leonardo DiCaprio, Justin Bieber. Hand in Hand is the name of their telethon. Can you imagine what would have happened if they had somebody normal who was hosting, like instead of Stephen Colbert? I mean, does anybody want to listen to that character anymore? You got to love this one. I mean, this is amazing when you watch this. NBA star Chris Paul said the NBA Players Association, which already donated, are you ready for this one? I mean, this is really serious about what the NBA Players Association donated. $500,000. Don't those guys spend that to go with Hard Rock Cafe in Vegas? Yet they donated $500,000, and Chris Paul said he's going to match player donations up to $20,000. Now, I don't want to say anything, Chris Paul, but J.J. Watt is at about $17 million so far, and you're talking about $20,000. Michael Dell. Now, this is where you get business people getting involved. Michael Dell has already donated $10 million. Gotta love that. Just a thought right there. Look at some of the numbers, and then they're going to hold out and they're going to tell us that they don't get paid enough money. Or they figure that they can't stand up because, well, I won't go there either, but they have trouble standing as well. Athletes for standing. Now, this one here came up. Joe, you might like this one. Dr. Bill will know this one for sure. The #1 how-to search on Google. You ready for this one?
Go ahead.
How to tie a tie.
No.
That is the #1 how-to on Google. If you want to know #2, this is just amazing to me. I mean, we're going to have fun with this, Dr. Bill. #2, how to kiss. Now, if you want #3, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I want to see this. This is hysterical. I mean, I can't make these things up, folks.
You can.
#3 is how to get pregnant.
So we're coming into prom season, is what they're saying.
Now, #4 I know is where your expertise lies, Doc. How to lose weight.
Oh.
So it was #4 on there. #5 is how to draw. #6, how to make money. #7, how to make pancakes. That's a little better. #8, how to write a cover letter. #9, how to make French toast. And #10, are you ready for #10? Joe, no, they didn't put any bacon recipes on there. I can't believe that. #10, how to lose belly fat. Now, I can tell you this, though. I am an expert on finding belly fat. So if you want to put how to find belly fat, I can help out. Not a problem there. I am America's #1 authority in that area. So those some work one way, some work the other way. Speaking about authorities, Doc, I know you're a big lover of the drug companies.
Oh, yeah.
So are you familiar with this this wonderful young man, Martin Shkreli? Former Chief Executive Officer of Turing Pharmaceuticals and Kello Bios Pharmaceuticals. You gotta love the kid. Not too smart. He makes money, but he's not the smartest guy in the world. He's out on bail because he was convicted on 3 out of 8 counts of whatever they were talking about, solicitation or lying or whatever. He's convicted on 3 out of 8. 5 he was acquitted of. So while he's out on bail waiting for sentencing, this genius decides that he's going to offer a $5,000 reward for a strand of Hillary Clinton's hair.
I hope he's not going to clone her.
Exactly. Well, I guess Judge Kiyo Matsumoto was not too excited about this. He revoked Shkreli's bail and said, I think you can spend some time in jail. Unbelievable. I mean, this is... the kid is not the brightest in the world. I guess I don't think he ran that by his attorney, but at least he got free room and board now. So there's always a positive to everything, although I can't find a positive to Bernie Sanders. I've been looking. The only thing I can find positive to Bernie Sanders, I think he's about 700 years old and he might retire soon. But his latest and greatest is health care for all, and he's going to propose a plan so everybody gets free health care. Now, I understand that while his wife takes a bunch of money to build a school, a phantom school. But let's think about this concept. Everybody gets free health care. If it's free, who's going to provide it? You're going to give away. Okay, so you're going to get Doc here is volunteering. He's going to give everybody free health care.
I'm voluntold.
Voluntold. There you go. So free health care. Now, who's going to innovate? I guess Shkreli. I mean, he won't have $5,000 for Hillary Clinton's hair. So, but Bernie, is Bernie going to provide the service for everybody? I mean, it's only going to add another $16 trillion to the national debt. $16 trillion, Bernie. Socialists don't understand math, though. Maybe that's the issue. I would have thought when Bernie was in school, they probably still did some math classes back then. Oh, unbelievable. Bernie. Where are we going with Bernie? Ted Cruz coming out with a flat tax. That's his idea for solving our tax reform. And Jack Lew came out. He is the former Secretary of Treasury saying, we're not going to get tax reform done. Must be that he's been used to being in the Obama administration where they actually do absolutely nothing other than executive orders that can then be undone by whomever wants to undo them. We got a lot to cover today. There's so much fun stuff. And we did just learn, it just came out. This is a surprise to me. I was very, very surprised by this one. San Francisco has now edged out Washington, D.C. to become the highest income U.S. metropolitan area. I thought it would always be a government area where they're doing all this stuff. Those guys in Washington, I know a senator makes $174,000 from the taxpayer, and Barack Obama made $400,000 as president, and I lead a lending team. There's nobody that I understand that makes $400,000 that can buy a $15 million house. It just doesn't work. The math doesn't work. I wonder what he was doing all that time in Washington.
That's claimed income. That's claimed income.
Claimed income, okay.
Because Californians need their taxes, they have to claim more. So that's how they do the statistics. All the under-the-table stuff.
I wouldn't say that the former president was doing anything under the table. That would not be wise of me. I've already been audited because of making commentary on radio. So, what was the gal's name that they just said that they're not going to prosecute? Lois Lerner. Yeah, I was... Never got audited before I did a conservative talk show. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, chatting with Dr. Bill, we never know where the conversation is going. Generally, though, it is downhill. But we'll get on to that. Homeownership is a precondition of the American dream. Equifax, did you get hacked? I know you did. Do you know what to do about it? We'll talk about that as well. And President Trump taps Mr. Montgomery for a second stint as FHA Commissioner. We'll talk about that as well. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, and on Twitter at Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel lending team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel lending team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I gotta love some of the fun stuff here. Please tell me people aren't Googling how to kiss and to get pregnant. Yes, Brent, that is exactly what the report says. And Joe, you're right. Nobody asked about getting a job. Isn't that fascinating? That was not one of the top Google searches. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. NEST, N-E-S-T, 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Homeownership is a precondition of the American dream. That is according to Hearth. They just released their 2017 State of the American Dream report, which showed that Americans still see homeownership as an integral piece of the American dream. The report confirmed that all generations, including millennials, agree home ownership is very important to achieving the American dream. Americans ranked owning a home I love higher than any other option, including, quote-unquote, starting a family and, quote-unquote, finding a fulfilling career. And I think you better find the career so you can afford the dream home. Just personal opinion there. Despite some claims that home ownership's importance to the American dream is in decline, the report found that the dream of home ownership remains strong. Of Americans who said they think achieving the American dream is important, 70% think home ownership is important to the dream, and 41% think home ownership is very important to that dream. What about millennials? According to Hearth, again, contrary to popular opinion, millennials who want to achieve the American dream are 5% more likely than baby boomers to think homeownership is important, and 2/3 of millennial renters view homeownership as important to the American dream. Although millennials are often portrayed as fickle and transient, they actually seek the stability of homeownership. Got the whole report. I shared it on our social media channels earlier today. If you want to get that whole report, just check us out right there. And being that we are talking about home ownership, maybe I should share this little featured property from our friend Brent Humphreys. He's Humphreys Homes and Estates. Think about this one. And he's going to do an open house, so we'll chat about his open house as well. But featured home today, Doc, I think it's out towards your neighborhood.
Oh, good.
940 Nicholas Place, Corona, 4-bedroom, 3 bathrooms, 3,274 square feet on a 7,405 square foot lot. Brent just reduced the price to $697,000. And think about this. It's just barely outside the Orange County line. And I know that some people say, well, who cares about Orange County? But it's about the traffic. You might be able to cut down a little bit on traffic. And our friends over at the lending team, they're going to waive all the lender fees on the property. If you want more information, those of you who are watching us, RonSiegelRadio.tv, you can see right there on the screen that we've got the phone number. You can send a text message, get all the details on the property. And there's pictures there. You can also find out how convenient it is. I mean, you know the convenience of the area there. 0.4 miles to get a cup of coffee, 1.5 miles to the gym, just walk. 4 miles to a pharmacy, half a mile to a gas station, 1.7 miles for medical attention. Prado View Elementary, Corona Vista High School, Rainey Intermediate. I guess I should have read them in order, but what the hell. Corona Dog Park is 6.3 miles. You can go hiking, you can go to the park, you can go golfing, you can go 244 4-star restaurants within 5 miles. That's what I was looking for. I could have found that part out first, right? Open house this weekend, 1 to 4, Saturday and Sunday. Check it out. Tell Brent that I sent you by there and that I thought you should see it. And give us a call. Let's get y'all pre-qualified for that property. That is our featured home. 940 Nicholas Place in Corona. Dr. Bill Janeshak is with us in the house. Every once in a while, the audience will applaud when Doc is introduced. Every once in a while, though, sometimes they have other thoughts. And being that I have the soundboard by me, you never know what the other thoughts might be. How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing awesome, and I brought my fans with me.
You brought your fans with you. Okay. So let's. You've been getting into this social media stuff, and I don't know if you can do chiropractic, virtual chiropractic.
Virtual. I know people that do it virtually, not actually.
Are they
virtually.
Googling that too?
Yeah.
Okay, so doctor versus patients. Now that everybody's Googling everything.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I came up with that. I've been talking about it in my practice because you know that I do my stress talks and I'm holistic, and I start talking to my whole focus is educating the patients. So you know, I always getting people say, "Oh, my doctor said this," and they throw out a diagnosis. The last couple weeks, I've had so many people coming in distraught, and they're going, "My doctor told me this because I had the." You know, in the first semester of medical school, all the students start reading about the diseases, and then they get them all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, oh my God, I have fatigue and a fever, and yeah, I've gotten sick once, and then they come up with these diseases. So, my biggest problem is, as doctors.
So I hope the males that are in the first year of medical school in gynecology are not having a lot of those problems.
Yeah, you never know. You never know the way they get
in this day and age.
Maybe
That's how they identify. I don't know.
but if you think about why people go to doctors, it's usually, if you break it down, it's because fear. Something's going on with their body that they can't take care of themselves. It doesn't go away, and so they're going, what is this, and what does it mean? And when they're going to these, very busy doctors and everything, but they're not thinking that there's a person on the other end. So they're saying, well, Ron, I see you're sweating a little, and and you're a little pale today. It could either be that you should get outside and turn the air conditioner on. You might have cancer. All these things are and then immediately.
Holy cow.
Yeah, you jump from here to there right away without any tests, without anything, but you just throw it out to the patient, and that creates problems. And
that's something that I'm gonna challenge you a little bit. And I'm not the medical expert, but I've run a business for many years, and I had lunch one day with an insurance gentleman. We were doing our company's medical plan at the time, and he said their insurance company. This is going back about 10 years, so it's not real up to date, but I think the same concept might hold. He said they did a study through the insurance company, and they asked a group of doctors to diagnose a group of patients as they came in, just a study, and just to diagnose them and what their solution would be, right from the from an initial diagnosis. And then they said, okay, now we want you to run whatever the normal tests that you would normally run, and we want to find out what the variance is. And they found out 95% of the time the doctors had the right answer ahead, from their initial diagnosis, and the testing was basically the CYA. So you wonder sometimes how much the testing, and I love my doctor. I've been going to him for 35 years, but he says, well, if you have this, we're going to use drug A, and if you have this, we're going to use drug A, and if you have this, we're going to do drug A. So do you want to have the test to figure out what it is? I said, no, just give me drug A. Right? You don't need all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the. It's kind of like the dichotomy with they're trying to save money with all the HMOs and doing this, and they're not doing that because we're taught, you do a thorough history, you get to know the patient, who they are, and that's 80% of your diagnosis. The examination is to rule out and to narrow it down.
Okay.
And by talking to you, because life's a bell curve. Most of these things are going to fall. Yes, there are devastating genetic diseases, and yes, there's these cancers that come out that hide this, and you have to be wary of them. But if you look at the person first, and like I said, if Ron, you're sweating, you're doing this, your show's great, you're rampant on the radio. There must be something psychological wrong with you. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later.
A lot of people say that. Okay.
But we would say, okay, well, Ron, do this, this, and this, see if it changes. And then if it doesn't, say, oh, no, I'm sweating more. Say, now let's do further tests and find out why. And then if we get an objective evidence that says, yeah, this is out of the norm of what we would be, then you start going down the rabbit hole. But when they start blanketly throwing everything out and saying, well, it could be this, and could be this, could be this, could be this, and it confuses the patient, makes them more stressful, and it will actually, in a lot of cases, increase their symptoms because now they're thinking about, oh no, do I have cancer? I gotta refi my home with Ron Siegel, and because I have to get the money for my kids and like that, and they're not sleeping, and they lose their appetite. They're doing this, and that drives their health down, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy a lot of the times. Like I said,
so what's the solution then? I mean, because I know I go to the doctor and I don't really care about all the stuff, right? I mean, I've come over to your office and I said, Doc, I need to be fixed, and how you do it, that's why I came to you. I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to know what you know. I just want to know how I feel better.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And with that, the solution is the doctors have to remember that there's a person on the other end, first and foremost, and they're coming in...
They're not a symptom.
And not a symptom. And granted, I understand from the clinical perspective that you have to end the CYA stuff, because I don't think it's any secret the insurance companies and the pharmaceutical industries run healthcare.
Sure.
We no longer have healthcare. We have managed sick care, get you to the minimal effective dose, get you out the door, and we'll put you on next quarter's fiscal balance sheet.
Yeah, you're just a liability waiting to see if we can minimize that liability, because we know we've got you committed to send us X dollars every month, and all we want to do now is minimize our expense out of those dollars.
Our expenditure, we want to make sure you don't die, because then that's going to cut off our income source.
Okay, yeah, so we got to keep you going longer, whether it's good health, good quality of life or not.
80% of all medications prescribed are what's called lifestyle drugs. That means that you take them forever. How long are you going to be on your cholesterol meds? Well, you take them forever. How long are you going to be on your blood pressure meds? You're going to take them forever. How long are you going to be on Prilosec? We're going to take them forever. Take your Flexerol. Oh, do your knees still hurt? Yeah, well, keep taking, because it's the ultimate membership program. They just pay every month.
Health Club, right? Yeah, pay me now and pay me later.
Yep.
Great information. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio. I'm chatting with Dr. Bill Janeshak, your Belinda Family Chiropractic this morning. We're going to talk more with the doc when we come back. Doctors versus patients, or doctors and patients? We'll talk about it. What is the patient's responsibility? We'll chat about that as well. Your information, if you are an adult, and I'm just talking about chronologically, not actions, because I'm still a kid. Equifax, your information was lost. We're going to tell you what to do about it. And President Trump taps Mr. Montgomery for a second stint at FHA. Is it going to resume our ability to get those reverse mortgages as much as we want to? We'll talk about all that and more. You can reach us anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL-LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report and it is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solution for you. Here's the surprise of the day. Equifax says the web server vulnerability led to the hack. No kidding. If it wasn't vulnerable, how else would they have got it? Credit reporting company Equifax blamed a web server vulnerability in its open source software called Apache Struts for the recent data breach that compromised personal details of as many as 143 million people. Think about that, 143 million people. Now, when Alan Hand was on with us earlier this week, he shared, and he's our credit guru. When he was on earlier this week, he shared with us that, do a little bit of math here. We've got 330 million people in the United States. I think Equifax tracks about 400 million people worldwide. But there's 330 million people here in the U.S. You take out the kids who maybe don't have any information in there yet, and you take out maybe some seniors. About 143 million people means that almost every adult, every working adult in the country had their information breached. Everyone. So when I heard this number, I said, okay, it's 1 out of 2. So Doc and I are here in the room, and I know mine hasn't been hacked. I don't know that. So it means his has. Well, the bottom line is everybody's has. What are you doing about it? Well, if you haven't done this yet, get a piece of paper, write this down right this minute. Go to Equifax Security. Equifax, in fact, I'm going to write it down for you so it's even easier. So go to, and I'm going to put it right here on the screen. If you're watching us, RonSiegelRadio.tv, Equifax Security, if I could spell, 2017.com. Equifax Security 2017.com. It's free. One of my favorite price points. It's free. Go there, register. It's 2 steps, and they're going to monitor your credit for you for a year for free. They used to charge $30 a month for this. Go do it right now. Get it done. Get on it. Dr. Bill's on his way out the door, right? Go do it. I don't want to see you being a statistic. I don't want you to call me and say, Ron, I didn't listen to you, and I went and I got I got hacked, and I went to go use a credit card, and I found out that I was over my limit, and I haven't even used it yet. I know my wife uses that line. She's not listening this morning, so I can say that. But that's the issue. Or you go to our friend Joe Ingram there, and you buy a car, right? And he goes and runs your credit, and he says, wow, you got a lot of stuff on your credit report. And you say, oh, no, you don't have that. The problem is, don't worry about it. Go to Equifax Security 2017, monitor all 3 of your bureaus. That way, when somebody tries to run your credit, if you give them credit, if you give them authorization, you'll know it. If you didn't get them authorization, you'll know that too. Equifax2017.com. That's Your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. When you're ready to get your credit report and your credit score increased and accurate, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with Alan. It's really cheap to have this done. We are continuing our conversation this morning. Dr. Bill's in the house. We're talking to Dr. Bill Janeshak, Your Belinda Family Chiropractic. Doctors versus patients. You know, you gave me that topic, Doc, and I'm saying, you know,
I know you're thinking that's stupid.
No, are you saying that I was thinking that's stupid, or thinking that's rare, or what? So here's the question I have: is I thought that why would it be doctors versus patients? Because I thought we're supposed to be on the same side of the ledger.
Yeah, we are. But it's just like everything else in this country. It seems like now there's a divide. So, you know, I painted the doctors as evil people because they're, you know, they should be helping, and they're throwing this stuff out. And in my Facebook Live, I talked about it. I said, technically, what they're doing is not incorrect. It's just not tactful. Like I said, you know, if I care about you, Ron, and you come in, you say, you know, my back hurts, my neck hurts, my stomach hurts, my toenails turn blue. I'm going to say, oh, it sucks to be you, Ron. You know what? This could be Cucamonga's disease, and you know a lot of people, and this could happen. You're going to have to get an MRI. You're going to have to go this, and you're going to have to get whatever it is. And you're going, oh my God, he's an expert, and then he thinks that right off.
Well, no, wait. Let's not go too far.
But what's happening, rather than saying, okay, well, let's step back and let's look at the basics and go back to basic physiology. Like I said, 80% of diagnosis is done on the history.
Sure.
And knowing who you are as a person, not just, okay, yeah, some guy came in, he radio show dude, blue toenails, sweating, and yeah, he's this, and that. Let's see what the insurance company is going to pay for. But technically they're doing the right, but also think about what the doctors are going through is, you don't go through all that schooling unless there's a passion.
Sure.
And you want to help people, and you want to get this education, and you're passionate about something. They can't express their art on there because their hands are handcuffed by the administration, the lawyers that they have over there, the pharmaceutical companies, and the insurance companies. Goes, Ron, we have a real easy solution. It's this little polka dotted pill, and you have to do this 3 times a day and hum, I love my mother, I love my mother, I love my mother, 3 times a day.
This is ridiculous.
May well be. And that'll get it to the second part. But you're not allowed to do that because the insurance company won't pay for that, so you have to think, okay, well, all right, well, Ron, you have to, sleep 4 hours a day and take vitamin D and do this and take this pill. You have to go down here to get your blood test to make sure, then go over to the pharmacy over here, and then first we're going to see if that's
So how do we find the doctor? Because you educated me on a concept. I'm not sure if we are back on or we stayed on, but those of you that are watching us, maybe somebody can tell me if I know some of us are, some areas that we have are battery operated.
Well,
so
let's check Facebook.
Let's us keep on chatting because I see it says we're still chatting. Stand up and drop the mic is what Joe just said here. That's good idea, Joe. Okay, we're running here. So anyway. Well, my question is for you, Doc, is this. Because you educated me on this part of this long ago with the concept of we're not treating the problem, we're treating the symptom. Mm-hmm. How do we find the doctor that's going to help us with getting to the treating the problem as opposed to the symptom?
Well, today, tune into Ron Siegel Live with Dr. Bill Janeshak, the holistic scientist that can help you out. You're going to have to go out.
The truth! You can't handle the truth!
You're going to have to go and do some research rather than defaulting on who's on your list and who's like. Interview doctors just like you would anybody else. Remember that you're hiring the doctor. It used to be way back in the old days, back when you were young, that the doctor...
They had that snake oil back then that you got off the cart.
They had the relationship, the patient had the relationship with the doctor knew you, he knew your mother, he knew your situation, he knew the family like this, and they knew you. Now, you're just like, well, I signed up for Kaiser and I'm in this area, so I have to go see who's on staff. But you interview doctors, ask them what you have to start out with your own philosophy of what your health is. Some people actually believe there's better living through chemistry. I don't have to worry about my blood pressure, I take this pill. My cholesterol is fine because as long as I take my Lipitor and I don't eat eggs and whatever outdated information they have, but that's their belief system. The other challenge with the doctors is they're actually trying to win a game that they can't, and their hands are tied. Because back in the day when we had miracle cures, we were fighting polio, we were fighting these disease entities and these pandemics. Now what we're treating is lifestyle diseases. Diabetes, heart disease, cancer, 80% of those are all driven by lifestyle choices. And the patients are not doing their part to take care of themselves. If someone says, fix me, I have blue toenails and I'm sweating and I have all this problem. So, okay, well, this is what you need to do. You need to stop eating a gallon of ice cream a day. You're going to have to take a walk. You're going to have to sleep 8 hours. Well, I can't.
No, Doc, just give me a pill and make me better.
Exactly. And so what happens is the compliance rate is about 60%, even on people with their heart disease. These people that were on their deathbed and they had double bypass, they were brought back from life and do like that. And actually in those patients, they said that 80% of the people that were smokers beforehand go back to smoking. So the doctors can't fix something that the patients are. It's always
so it goes back to the same thing. You can't fix stupid. Well, and you know something, I can say that because you know, I don't need a medical degree for somebody to tell me that I'm overweight. Right? But I still do it. We're going to talk more with Dr. Bill Janeshak when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. We will also chat about the new FHA Commissioner that's being appointed, so we'll talk about that also. Remember, you can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few. Well, we got some technical difficulties from that little power outage, and thanks for sharing that, Joe. I just realized that myself. So we're going to continue our conversation. What are you hearing? I don't know what you're hearing, Joe, so we're going to try and figure that out. But
he's just hearing voices again. It happens.
Joe, those voices, they keep talking to me, and I can't understand it. Well, I guess even our sound guys aren't working properly right now. So we're continuing our conversation, Dr. Bill Janeshak. Well, let me get the Word on Wealth segment in here, because this is going to be a big topic for tomorrow. This is brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. When you are ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star, they're the only one with the fast pass loan approval. And if you call over there, you can have some fun. Just tell them that Ron Siegel said, waive the lender fees. No lender fees if you tell them that you're a listener of Ron Siegel Radio. Might save you a couple, $3,000. Now, some people, if you're like Dr. Bill, a couple, $3,000, it's not a meaningful number. If you're like the rest of us, you want to save as much money as possible when you're going to buy that new house. You're going to see that the pricing that they have there is as good as everybody, maybe better than most. And then no lender fees, so your out-of-pocket expense when you buy that house is going to be even less than in most instances. Tomorrow we're going to chat a lot about reverse mortgages, and for the individuals that are extremely aged, like Dr. Bill, if you're over 62 years of age, have equity in your property, the reverse mortgage might be a great product for you. They've made some changes that are going into effect on October 2nd that will make it a little bit more difficult for the reverse mortgage. Not quite as exciting as it was, but President Trump has announced his intention to nominate Brian Montgomery for a second tour of duty as Federal Housing Administration Commissioner. And he was a big-time proponent of the reverse mortgage under the George W. Bush administration, 43. And we might see that he's got some ideas there to make this a better program for everybody. So let's watch that. But we will talk to Jay Kaplan about the reverse mortgage tomorrow. That is the Word on Wealth segment brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. Give me a call at 800-306-1990. I lead the lending team over there, and we're more than happy to share anything we know with you. And, of course, waive lender fees for any listener of Ron Siegel Radio. Continuing our conversation with Dr. Bill Janeshak. So, Doc.
Yes, sir.
Here's the question. We talked about the doctor versus the patient. We spoke about where, that battle. And a lot of times how the doctors are prohibited because of of regulation and their own fear for their family, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Of solving a problem, they solve a symptom, right? Or they mask the symptom. Where does the patient come into all this? What's the patient's responsibility here?
The patient's responsibility, it's not that doctors are not responsible for your health.
Okay.
And in Latin, doctor means teacher. And so the doctor should be
You got
educated.
a Latin lesson now.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm not just a pretty face.
We know that.
Joe, I don't want I don't want any comments on Facebook with that. But the challenge is that we're not responsible. You're supposed to go to the doctor and say, just like Ron, I don't know what to do with my loan. I don't know. I'm lost. I want to buy a house. Equifax blew my credit rating. What's my debt to income ratio? I don't know what to do. I come to you as an expert, and you say, I'm going to do this, and that, run through here.
You get distracted by the commentary coming in through the Facebook Live feed, right?
Yeah, it was all those folks at IngramInteractive.com. They're just throwing things out. But you come to an expert. If I said, all right, well, okay, Ron, I'll do all these things, and then you get the result. If I don't do those things, you don't get the result. And the patients have to do the same thing. We have so many roadblocks of, well, I couldn't sleep all the way through last night, because there's basic things that you have to do. You have to sleep, you have to eat, you have to breathe, you have to go to the bathroom, you have to move. Those are basic things that every living thing has to do. We as human beings think that we're kind of above that law. Well, we can eat whatever's convenient. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Those all have consequences.
Sure.
And with those consequences, you start to develop a dis-ease. D-I-S-ease. Your body doesn't work how it's supposed to. Our natural state is health. Given these basic things, we're going to live a healthy, happy life, and we're going to go, and this is how we should live. We should live, oh, great, 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 and then we just die. Most people die on a trajectory. It's just a downward trajectory. Oh, I get sick. I guess I'm just getting older. My knees hurt when I'm getting up. I'm good like that. And this is how sick people die. They just go off the edges. So the whole key is the patients have to want what they have more than, or they want to be better and be more committed to living the best versions of themselves than they are to their distractions. And it's just, it's like.
So what as a patient, I mean, I think nowadays it's more than it ever was before. It used to be that when we got sick, I went to the doctor. I said, "Hey, doc, my nose is running and I got a sore throat, and I haven't gone to the bathroom in 6 months." And he said, "Okay, now I know what your issue is." But nowadays, we all go, and Joe made this comment on our Facebook Live earlier, we go to WebMD and walk into the doctor and say, "Doc, I've got that's a severe case of whatever." Is that helpful? Is it hindered? No. What are the doctor's thoughts of that?
So you're getting ahead of me now. So my doctor versus patient it's going to be a 3-part series. The last part is the worst doctor that you're ever going to have is Dr. Google. Just like I said.
Well, we found earlier what we really need to go to Google for.
Yes. I need to know how to tie my tie, and I need to learn how to kiss.
Okay. And you figured out how to get pregnant.
I don't want to get pregnant, but
okay.
But the whole thing is anything that you want as far as your health. There is more knowledge base that we have right now than ever before in history. We know more about the gut biome, the nervous system, how the mind and body works, how the digestion works, how the immune system works. We know so much information, maybe even too much information to digest. We are used to fast food, drive-through, Starbucks app. I don't even have to go in anymore. I have to do this. We want things
right. We want immediate gratification. And
at the very same time that we have all these answers is the exact same time that we have least direction. And this is where you need the experts to come in, because look, go into the grocery store anytime and look at all the magazines, and you can go South Beach diet, no carb, low carb, high fat, ketogenic, like that. They're all to lose weight, and they all work for this person, but not that person. This person has a disease like that. Unless you're the expert to know what's going to be right for you in the context that it's in. Exercise is great. Should a 92 osteoporotic woman be powerlifting? Probably not.
Probably not going to do the best thing for her.
Should somebody with a heart problem or with a high, like severe diabetes, be doing high intensity exercise?
When's your Facebook Live going to be, or when are you going to do your seminar?
I have a doctor's seminar today at 11. That's for doctors only. We're going to be doing that. The next Facebook Live on Doctors versus Patient will probably be tomorrow at about 10:30.
Beautiful. So we'll put some information about that right there on the Facebook page, and be sure to set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Steve, who's engineering us today, and of course a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Ron Siegel Radio.